Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where surely we won't get Cain again, because that would be ridiculous. It does appear we're not gonna get Cain or Azazel, which was also seeming likely, and instead we get Bombs Are Key on Lazarus. And what do we still have to do with this character? Basically everything. So we're gonna have a good time here today, not worry so much about what could be, because any direction we can possibly go in will be the right one. And I for one cannot wait. Should probably try and once again go for the old angel rooms, I suppose. Simultaneously, Devil Deals on Lazarus is kind of fun. So I haven't really come to terms 100% on that one, I suppose, but we'll see what we see, I guess, as we progress through this life. And our first item room, not terrible, provided I hit. It is a start. It is something that will get us boss rush, maybe, if I play well enough. And we get a secret room right there as well, so that's lovely. We get two chests that I really probably cannot interact with, but if we get a hangman card somewhere, that would be ideal. But look at the speed upon which these rooms are being cleared. It is quite lovely indeed. I could do a couple things here. I could basically just die on this floor, go for angel rooms, and that way basically just get a lot of positives due to the fact that the stat ups from Lazarus' second life are just rather good. Alternatively, I could not go for angel rooms, specifically go for devil deals and have a whole bunch of red heart containers to play with. So either way, I feel like either option works. I feel like the not dying just yet option is probably a little safer, but it kind of depends on what my curse room is like. And there is a health up over there. I could go to the downpour once again. There is a lot of red health on this floor. I could take one of those golden chests as well, because we have plenty of keys available. And it is a tricky choice indeed. That is 2 troll bombs. I think I'll try and go for one of the golden chests and see if that ends up working out in my favor or not. I would argue kind of, because I think there was something in my shop for 7 cents that I didn't hate. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, I think I have made my decision. And that decision is called, let's go find some spikes. And I believe this room has some spikes. And let's go a little bit quicker and a little bit stronger indeed. Which should be helpful. I think I probably should have gotten the soul heart instead, thinking about it, but you know what? It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be okay. We got a building. We got everything we could possibly need. We got an extra health right there. And is that not enough to survive? I do hope so, because otherwise I'm going to be very disappointed. But I have an okay amount of health. We are going to the Dross from the look at the picture on the thing there. So we might be dealing with a boss that we haven't seen before, which worries me a little bit. These enemies suck because of their weird wavy tier attacks. Immediately lost my devil deal chance and already back at 1 heart. Did I not take that health up, then we would have been dead. So fortunately I did pick up my boss item this time around. But it is going to be a little bit of a scary time, because I suddenly have to remember what enemies do that I haven't seen in a bit. But hopefully that's going to be okay. We'll take the botfly, because the botfly is rather okay at dealing with many tiers, so I can take that. There is a curse room available as well that I can rather easily go for. These enemies throw gas on the floor, I believe, and then die with an ipecac tier, but for some reason it's not exploding, so fair enough, I guess. But that ipecac tier can be disastrous, so I'm hoping that it's not going to get in the way too much. But yeah, this botfly is basically a worse sci-fly, and I don't mind it so much. It's alright, for sure. Oh, I think the botfly is actually destroying the ipecac before it hits the floor. And that's why it's not exploding? That's actually kind of funny. I'll take that though. That's actually pretty good on my my side, I guess. That's a lot of troll bombs you just dropped right in front of me. I don't fully appreciate it, but I will miss every shot against you, so maybe I do appreciate it a little bit. 7 coins, that is enough to buy a thing technically in the shop. I could go for a secret room, but it could be in could it be in 2 locations? It might not be here because of the room layout, but I'm not 100% sure. I am tempted by that, actually. I think I'll go check out the curse room and then take that soul heart on the way back. I don't hate that idea. My secret room is almost certainly next to this room. The flames are all put out because of the water here. That's actually kind of a neat little detail. Okay, that's awkward. I was kind of hoping I could use one of those bombs to actually push against the wall there, but they did not spawn in a favorable way. And I didn't feel like taking the 1 heart of damage and then die, so, you know, I played a little safer than I perhaps should have. But ultimately, I don't fully regret my choices. Who are we fighting today? It is Callistomia, and I'm gonna use my devil card because I remember this boss being a little fiddly. He has 2 forms. It is a little bit less fiddly with this thing, and that is going to explode rather viciously. Gotta watch out for those gas clouds. The second form I don't recall being as treacherous, but the first one is just rather quick, and it can catch you off guard. Yeah, the botfly is doing a lot of work, actually. So I don't mind that so much. Ended up not giving us a devil deal, which I don't love. This can be good, but I don't love it. I like it in builds that don't have soul hearts, or red hearts, I guess, but I don't particularly care for it right now. So instead, I'm just going to move forward. I don't think I'm going to go for Mother this run. Curse the Blind kind of sucks. I'm also not going to go for the Beast because Tainted Lazarus is just like a whole other thing. It's not something I'm not overly ready for just yet. It's something that's going to require a bit of practice, I'm gonna say. I'm just going to leave that one alone for now. Hoping I can get these enemies to just go a little bit up there so the buckets aren't going to be a problem. I guess I should just let that thing do some work on occasion. The bag that I bought on Basement 1 ended up giving me a soul heart, so I'm not too bothered about taking that hit of damage right there. It was actually kind of part of the plan when you really don't think about it. So all in all, pretty good. Probably should have taken the Apple of Sodom because it probably would have been good in some instances. But I do like playing with sacrifice rooms, and you can't really do that with that combination. Flush is not bad, actually. I wouldn't have minded that on the previous floor because I think that would have insta-killed the boss. And that would have been nice, but I can at least use it in the big room. I do appreciate that much, at least. Yeah, and once again, Botfly is just getting rid of all those tears before they actually hit us. So it's a really good item for sure. It's just that Sci-Fly exists, and it kind of reduces the quality of every other item in the game. It's an unfortunate side effect of the item, unfortunately. That's a decent amount of money already. I don't have any more keys, but if I had a key, I could be able to buy something for sure. Let's just flush this. It's fairly unlikely that we're going to find a poop boss in this floor because they show up in Dross a decent amount, but not so much here because it's all non-sewagey. That does help, I guess, in the terms of not getting poop-related things. Just having it not be sewage. That's a weird hit, but I'll take it, I guess. But I don't care for it. And that's another weird hit. I feel like my Botfly, I've given it too much praise and now it's slacking. But fair enough, I'm not too mad about it. I just don't want to lose my run. And at this rate, I am because I'm getting hit by everything. I'm not even sure how he shot those tears. I didn't even know he did that. Fair enough. I was not aware that was a feature of that character. I'm actually just going to go to that curse room right now because I've taken all of my soul hearts in damage somehow. And I don't fully appreciate that that happened. Was this still Curse the Blind? Yeah, it was. So I don't really want to visit my shop either on this floor, I suppose. Bloop, bloop. That's not bad. I was tempted to use Chariot to leave, but it's not really necessary. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep trying to go for the boss rush for now, because that's just a nice thing to get out of the way with any character, really. Shouldn't be shooting randomly, because then I lose my Deadeye damage, but it's fun. And it's the Rainmaker, which I do not mind. I'm actually just going to use the Chariot card to speed this up a little bit. There you go. No worries. And since I can't see what my devil deal is anyway, I'm just going to go for Angel Rooms instead. I don't want to go there and end up sacrificing all my hearts for like controllable tears or something garbage like that, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. First it lost. That doesn't help in terms of trying to get the boss rush in time, but no, well. We'll just have to try and go as quick as we can. I think my secret room is over here as well. Just based entirely on the layout of this room. And it ended up working out, so that's good. Blow up a shopkeeper here and there. Just a bunch of spiders for now, but not a problem. Counterfeit penny is better than no trinket, so I don't mind that either. And a bunch of tiny little pins. I'm not even sure how I was trying to dodge that, but it clearly was not very effective. At least the enemy ended up just jumping into spikes there, but still it's... I've done better. I've done better than I am doing today, and my apologies. Because it's truly a mess. Come on. Just need to hit my shots with this item as well, otherwise it seems like a bit of a waste. It's gonna be a bit tricky to do boss rush with this specifically, but hopefully we can find some more damage somewhere along the line. That would be ideal. This is kind of a quick room. But fortunately we are dead Lazarus, so our speed is not at all a problem. And I think we leave like little bits of creep around from time to time as well. Isn't that a thing that Lazarus does, or do I need to unlock that? I might need to unlock that actually. That's not great. But it's bombs, so I can kind of appreciate it. I'll blow this up for good measure. Also I'll go visit the shop, I guess. Greed. Alright. Fine. Let's use this bomb once, I guess. Whoop. Well, that at least makes it a lot more tempting to just buy everything that I can find. This might give me a soul heart if I just try 4 times exactly. Unfortunate. Not trying more because I like to be on 15 coins. Gives me exactly enough money to buy 2 items and then have a coin remaining, and that somehow seems like a positive. And I, for one, think that is a good enough reason on its own. I don't think I can enter that curse room without taking damage, unfortunately, because we've already found our secret room. And also we have found basically everything else there is on this floor, so I don't really have anything to look for. Other than maybe tinted rocks and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I haven't been paying that close attention, but I probably should, because I am losing all of my health continuously. Rooms like this, though, I don't mind having flesh for. It does speed up the process a lot. It's a bit of a waste if there are actually good champions that end up dropping soul hearts upon death, but it's not the most likely thing in the world anyway, so that's fine. I will actually take that key, because I think that's going to end up being pretty good. There's a tinted rock right there, and some pins as well, so that's fun. Yeah, my dodging feels off today. I don't really know what's going on there, but I am noticing that the fly is shooting tears, where afterwards I'm like, oh yeah, I should have moved away from that. Didn't, and genuinely saved my life. So really I should probably be more grateful to the bot fly. I was grateful for him for a bit, and then I wasn't for a bit, and now I'm grateful again. It's an everlasting roller coaster with this particular item, but never say I don't fully appreciate it for what it is. It's unlikely at this rate that we're gonna get the Lord of the Flies transformation, unfortunately, but I wouldn't mind that either. Do I want to blow up this singular champion? Or they could just go into fire, I guess. That's also an option. Cool. Something's wrong. Alright, I have a lot of money. I just need something to spend it on, and so far we just haven't really had the option, unfortunately. There is that room right there, which is tempting, actually, to play the sacrifice room for a little bit, because there's a decent amount of health on this floor. Or at least a little bit of health, and that's always fun enough. Magician's probably not bad with Deadeye either, but we'll see if it ends up being good. And just a lot of not too difficult rooms, fortunately. Don't mind all of that. Should probably destroy that barrel, the one that actually has an enemy next to it, rather than the one that doesn't have an enemy next to it. And the boss we're fighting today is Fistula, which hopefully isn't going to be a problem. God, you do really see my damage tank the moment I miss a shot there as well, so I really need to stop doing that. It does seem a bit fiddly sometimes. Like, sometimes I miss 2 shots and it doesn't go away, and other times I miss 1 and it just disappears instantly. Not really sure what's going on with that, but ultimately, it is dealing more damage than I'm losing out on it, I'd say. So I'm not really too bothered. Again, not an angel room. And I will just go on to the next floor immediately. Because I don't like not having a map, and I don't know what I hadn't explored yet, but I've pretty much seen a lot of it anyway, so yeah, it's probably fine. Now, I don't know if poop bosses spawn on these floors. I think it's only the womb and onwards, right? That poop bosses spawn just as regular enemies, kind of. Oh boy, you're so fast. Okay, so I do bleed when I take damage at least. So that can be good on occasion. In very specific circumstances, I guess. Alright, and yeah, if I run towards an enemy that shoots a tear at me, it will almost guaranteed hit me as well. So I do need to be somewhat careful about that. Unidentified pill with the tears down. That's not great. That was actually a pretty significant tears down as well. Yeah, not great indeed. A lot of creep on the floor. And a challenge room with 2 gray chests in it. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. Don't want to bother with that. Maybe could have turned one of those enemies into poop in a better place so I could create a bridge out of it and get some more money, but I don't really need more money at this stage, I guess. There's a decent chance this is not going to go to boss rush simply because the build is actually just too bad. Which is unfortunate. I've actually genuinely been trying to play decently okay, but we're just getting nothing. Like, this is fine, but it's not... it just doesn't do anything for me. I'd like to have it be a non-active item, a passive item, if you will. But oh well. Not every run needs to go to boss rush. Just like not every run needs to get an angel room. Occasionally, you just never have the door open. Granted, part of that was because of my own undoing, I suppose, but I will say I'm still a little bit disappointed by that. If I get another greed in my shop, though, which is still possible, I could still get super greed, or yeah, super greed, I think it is. And I should probably visit my secret rooms first, just to make sure that if he ends up there, then I don't think he can show up in my shop anymore, and that would be obviously better. But it can be a little tricky to find your secret room sometimes, especially when the layout doesn't help out as much. This room is fine. Spikes go away, right? Yeah. And a flat penny, which I actually don't mind. We've not been getting that many keys. And that is very much not a greed fight, so let's hope he's just simply not here. And he's not. And instead we get the battery pack, which does nothing for me, and a deck of cards, which... Sun card, you know what, that's fair. That's actually pretty good. I'll take the... Should I take the deck of cards? I could, actually, yeah. I could just do this, get another card. High Priestess, boop, Chariot, Fool, Magician. Wow, these are some solid cards. Who's the bottom? Necropolis 1, so we... Yep, that's about how that goes usually. I do tend to forget that I have that item very quickly somewhere in the run. And that is how you lose health. I'll take the High Priestess for the boss of this floor particularly. Come on. Don't really have a reason to carry it around for anything else. And then I'll probably just end up leaving with the Sun card in the end. There's a decent chance I'm going to lose my Devil Deal here. Angel Room, rather. We haven't yet seen that one yet. And we did skip our first Devil Deal, after all. God. Yeah, this build is actually just pretty garbage. But, you know, we're pushing through. This is usually the point where the game's like, you know what, you've tried long enough. Here, have a Sacred Heart on the house. It's on me. And then I can go, hee-hee. And that is the stage that I would like. I'd like to reach the hee-hee stage of the run. And I'm not feeling it just yet. 16 minutes. We'd have to do the next floor in 3 minutes, which I'm not loving either. Plus, I'm gonna just waddle back and forth on this floor a bit as well, so that's not gonna speed up the process. At least we got that tears up in a random chest earlier, so at least we got our tears down back again. And I think there was a little bit of shot speed as well, so, you know, it's a little bit more than nothing. High Priestess for Adversary, which did not even kill the boss. which I'm not loving, because that means I have to pay attention. And I don't like doing that. This also isn't helping my case. There you go. Wow. Still no angel room. Alright, yeah, this is definitely not gonna go to the boss rush. We're now back in the let's spend some time on this run mode. Because we are getting nothing, and that is not helpful. Not sure if I should go for 2 gray chests, but genuinely at this point, I'll go for just about anything. I mean, technically there could be an angel room in here. There is once again a red chest or 2, which could help us out. There is a dead cat, which I'm very tempted by. Yeah. I don't really need health. All I need is a good time, and that's exactly what we got. And the slowest build known to man. I mean, it's still at least like an interactive slow build. There is the Taurus build that I had the other day, which it was also not especially fast. It was probably faster than this, admittedly, but it was just one of those builds where you don't really have to play the game at all, whereas now I do. So there is at least that. I did kind of expect that, like, Dead Lazarus on its own was kind of, like, okay enough for sure. And I feel like as long as I don't miss a single shot, he is. But that is a big if, all things considered. I do have a tendency to miss a shot sometimes, which reduces the quality of my run somewhat right now. I don't know how I even thought that would be a super secret room. That clearly wasn't gonna be it. Alright, so sun cards become a lot worse. Chariot might be okay. Strength is okay now as well. Because my sun card, mysteriously, is only gonna heal me for 1 heart. It is a full map, so I could use that to do the next floor in 30 seconds. However, I have this feeling that that's simply not gonna happen. So rather I take the strength card for the extra heart container for the inevitable devil deal that we're going to get on the Womb 2. Where I'm desperately hoping to get a second angel room and then fail. So I think we got a plan. This is a room where we're not going to get an angel room from. Surprised that wasn't a secret room. Not really that surprised, I guess. Just a little disappointed. Could technically go to the beast, I guess, as well. There's no real reason not to other than... Yeah, don't actually have a reason not to go to the beast. I actually don't even hate that idea that much because I do have dead cat, and for the beast that's specifically okay. But I think I'm gonna leave that idea alone for now because it's a bit something I don't feel like doing. That's the entire description of what that is. I'm gonna use this sun card in this big room right here. Just to clear it out nice and quick. Probably should have waited until one of those bombs was next to a thing. Mom's coin purse technically could be good, but not that excited about it. Could technically get soul hearts out of that as well, but that's also one of those ideas. It's like, wow. It's one of those ideas that you have when you're like, what do I do in this situation? And that's where we are right now. Analog stick. I mean, it's not terrible. It's tier 8 at least. I'm probably not going to use the diagonal shooting ever, but, you know, it's tier 8. It's the important, like, even though I'm playing on gamepad, I could actually just do this, but it's just a little fiddly. When you're not used to aiming like that, you have to do it once every 100 runs. It doesn't work out very well. This, on the other hand, I kind of appreciate. Should have probably waited until there was something better on this floor in case I could have gotten a soul heart or something out of that, but no. What can you do? Let's just do this as well. We've been pretty lucky with these chests. Yeah. That's how you do that. That's how you lose your 100% chance angel roof. Should I do this? It's actually somewhat tempting. I mean, on the one hand, I should blow him up for the angel room chance. And on the other hand, I wouldn't mind trying to get more chance of good stuff, really. But God, that item is so cursed whenever I have it. I really just need to stop taking it, I think. Because I forget it continuously. I always forget about it. It's really quite unfortunate because on its own it's not bad. But in my hands it is, and that does make it a lot less tempting to take, unfortunately. At least now I can take some damage again without really having to worry about things other than losing my lives. So I guess that's fine. It's just, again, not really the kind of... It's not really that hopeful, is it? It's just like, well, at least I can die now. Without being too concerned about the situation. But that alone, that statement alone is pretty bad, isn't it? Ah, well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the beast alone because I don't trust myself at all today. And instead I'd like to do something that's a little bit more automated, and that is definitely the regular routes, I suppose. Come on. But this is it's a little rough. It's a little one of those rough ones. I could use the Fool card to get out of that curse room at least. That's a pretty tempting idea. And then if there ends up being a teleporter to the angel room in that curse room, I could just take damage during the boss fight to make sure that the door is probably not going to open. And then I'll actually have an okay chance at a second angel room as well. I just need to not die in the womb at that stage. But it is highly dependent on me getting that angel room in a curse room, which is not great. It's not a great thing to be reliant on, but it is technically a possibility. And that is Larry Jr., which nearly got hit by those enemies right there, but that wouldn't have mattered too much. There is some health on this floor after all. Larry Jr. is fortunately also not too big of a deal. So slowly but surely we're making some progress here. This could be rough, but fortunately one of my Deadeye tears actually ended up hitting. So it's not all bad cherry. It could be good for the inevitable greed fight that we have right here. I mean, I was starting that sentence knowing where it was gonna end, and it ended exactly where I somewhat intended it to, I guess. I mean, alternatively, I could also just die in the curse room as well and just come back that way, but might as well I have one bomb. That's really the main thing that's making me think maybe I shouldn't do this. The fact that I have one bomb currently, simultaneously, it probably is safer for me to not be carrying that bomb around. So there is that to consider as well. There we go. Strong considerations. I guess I might as well get Mom's pill bag as well, thinking about it, because maybe one of these pills is good. You know? Something's wrong. Unidentified pill. I'm not going to take any of them just yet because I'm sensing death in my near future. But maybe one of these pills ends up being okay. There's a tears down there at least, and if something's wrong, so there's not that much left. But if I die, then I can just take the pill without anything happening in the room, really. So that is kind of nice. The troll bombs are doing a lot of work during this fight as well, which I can appreciate. There is at least one unidentified pill in the room, so that's good. Ooh, blow. That's always good. It's my favorite boss in terms of having a strategy for it and never properly executing it. That's a slow one. It's a little tricky for sure as well when the damage isn't so good. But not impossible. If you just never have him shoot Brimstone, I guess that's also kind of okay. It's just a little bit fiddly to try and manipulate that. Also the botfly, once again, is doing a pretty good job at removing all fury. Inducing things. So I could just do this for a bit. That would probably work just fine. Alright. No worries. Callus. That's probably the best trinket I've seen so far because I can see myself running into spikes somewhere on this floor. That's possibly okay. 1 soul heart. 3 soul hearts. That's pretty good.
The fool.
It's no, what is it? Not, yeah, there you go. That's what it isn't. Full health.
Full health.
Tears up. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it's no teleportation to the angel room and therefore taking me away from not being able to get enough angel statues, but it is pretty good. It's a lot of health to work with. And I can appreciate that. I wouldn't have minded a way to reset this floor. I think that would have been very nice, actually, but you know what? We'll make do. There is a tinted rock in the bottom left right there. I have 2 bombs. So even if I were to go for angel statues, it's fine. I'm relying, I feel, too much on the robot. Because sometimes even when they shoot 1 tier, it is still connecting. So clearly it's not that great at doing what I wanted to do. I'm so unhappy about how that ended up transpiring. Because I really want to blow this up. There is a bomb over there. Oh yeah, there are bombs I can get actually. Alright, that works too. If not, there was some bombs where I had to do some diagonal movement, and I guess I could have done that. Plus just a shell game, which I could have played, but I don't want to do that. Alright. Why am I carrying a tears down pill again? In case I get PhD? Sure. That's a reason. I guess there was a bomb there. I'll take that. Alright, this may take a while, and I'm genuinely actually quite concerned about it, but we'll be okay. Hopefully. If I primarily focus on the things that are being spawned, and also not do specifically that, then we should be okay. But I do need to pay attention to the foot coming from the sky. Plus I now have red damage, so that could be kind of good as well. The old Aquarius damage. Creep damage, you could call it, I suppose, but I feel like Aquarius damage is a decent enough descriptor about what's going on. Ah, God, I hesitated. Accidentally got stomped on. I should probably be moving around more. Yeah. Because then you just have situations where you're already moving away from it, but it can get you in rather fiddly situations like that corner right there where you're not really that safe. And you do have a decent amount of time to dodge that attack as well, so especially since my speed is not terrible either. Like speed-wise, my stats are okay. If speed was my only stat, I'd be fine. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, what are we doing? Polaroid or negative? I could use the damage. I really could use the damage. Wow. Well, it is 2 angel rooms. 2 angel statues, rather. I only have 1 bomb, though, so that's unfortunate. Unless this is a 2 of clubs, yeah. Unless it's specifically that thing. Alright. I'll give that a shot. This is a tears up now? Oh. I'll take that then. That's actually worthwhile for this particular situation. This is okay. The damage up I do feel improves my situation significantly. Alright. And another one. Of course, it's the other angel as well. I guess it's probably guaranteed that you always get at least both angels. Unless you specifically, like, use sacrifice rooms, I guess. Because that one, I'm pretty sure you get a fixed angel spawn in sacrifice rooms. Alright, let's hope for that PhD somewhere in the womb. That's definitely sounds like a thing that's possible. And with that, let's go further down into whatever this run is. We've been playing for 33 minutes. According to OBS, so it's probably a little bit less, but yeah, it's unlikely we're gonna make Hush, since we're already too late. We are immune to creep. That is something I'm gonna forget about as well, almost certainly. And I will just hang out over here, because I don't want to get anywhere near any of that. But, you know, fair enough. It is good that I still have to do everything on this character. If I had to do mom with this, or mother with this build rather, I just cried. I would have genuinely just started crying, I think. So fortunately we don't have to see that today. But maybe in a run in the future. I can cosplay Isaac with my tears. Stars card, is that fine? Is that something I want that much? If I still had flush, this would be the best moment of my life. But unfortunately, it was not to be. Card, High Priestess. Could be okay. Yeah, that could be okay. That could kill a boss. That could make life a little easier. Depending on what boss is here, I guess. I'll take that. Meh. That was not a terrible trade, actually. 2 keys for 1 key and a bomb. Given my bomb count, I actually don't hate that trade at all. No tinted rocks here. I figured I might as well just do that check first before we start blasting. Yeah. It's just one of those days, you know? It's just one of those days where everything's already feeling a little odd. And then you come into the room with the build that's just very average, and then Envy's there, and then there's 2 of them, and it's like, well, I understand that this is also part of the game sometimes, but it doesn't mean that I particularly have to enjoy it. And that's how we're living life today. With the solemn vow that one day we'll have a good build again, but today is unlikely to be that day. Unless we get some decent Devil Deal stuff in the dark room, I guess. That's still not impossible. We could get some good dark room stuff. We could technically get another angel room. We don't really need angel rooms at this stage anymore, I guess, but yeah, sure. That actually works for me. That I don't mind that. It's not going to be as good as it was in Bethany, obviously, but it's still not bad. I don't hate it at all. So let's just make good use of that. I'm guessing my secret room is over there. Alright, cool. Could have continued one room further to really figure that one out, I guess. But, you know, I don't want to live that life. I like to take chances. Let's just charge up this car, shoop the whoop, and then go to our boss then. What is that champion color? Do you just drop money? I actually don't know what that is. I still don't know what that is. What was that champion color? Yeah, no idea. I should look for my secret room first because I wouldn't mind having as much chance for the door opening as possible. It's unfortunately not next to my curse room, which I really would have enjoyed. It might be next to this one though. Depending what's on the room below it. And also depending on what this looks like. That's definitely not it. So that is only increasing the chance that it's going to be here. Yeah, that is quite nice, isn't it? Like if... Sure, game. Okay. That's entirely fine. I guess it's in this room instead, but I don't think for even a second that I'm happy about it. Or about that hit I just took for no real reason. What a mess. I don't think I can make this work. I wouldn't have minded to go for that golden chest as well, but I don't think that's worthwhile. I could probably get a bomb somewhere. That's a ruined trapdoor. AWAS. Do I want to carry that around for a bit? I'm tempted. I'm gonna do the... I'm actually just gonna do the rest of the floor, I think, first. There's technically a chance of a coin beggar on these streets. And while I may not really...
I'm excited.
While a coin beggar, in terms of blowing him up, is obviously not too great because I don't have bombs, I wouldn't mind just a bit more health. Just some regular health, actually. Curse room is a little tempting because of my current health situation, but also not so tempting because of my current health situation. I also have a tendency to forget that I can go to 0 hearts, which is important. Skolex, that's an interesting boss to try and use the this card on, but I'm sure we can make it work. Just show your butt, thank you. And the I'm excited pill doing what it does best. That's more tier 8. I should have probably shot first to get rid of my damage there, huh? That wouldn't have been a terrible idea, all things considered. Just because then I wouldn't have gotten tier 8, but instead probably would have gotten damage. But I'm not actually sure if it works that way. If it takes the damage from Deadeye into consideration. I'm getting rid of all my I'm excited effects at least, so I'm happy about that by just wandering around for a while, but... Probably should have taken that half a heart at least, but we'll make it work. It's a nice wig. Scarred womb. That's not what you want to see. At least some coins in there. Should maybe top up my donation machine again, but no. Ah. At least because we're at 0 hearts, we are going to get the negative effect every now and then. More often than I would like, obviously, but it does happen. Wow, I'm actually just taking damage in every room right now, which I'm not appreciating too much. Alright, so I know where all my things are now, so that's kind of nice. Means that I don't particularly have to look for it. Here's half a heart, which I also don't mind. Keeps me safe. And am I going to do this entire floor? I probably shouldn't. Because Scarred Womb has a tendency of killing me more than it heals me. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to throw a bomb in that direction. When I do use it on purpose, it does look quite cool. But it's so rare. And yeah, let's just go up, eh? Save that last bomb. Not sure what I want to save that battery for in particular, but that might be a tricky enough room. Did I did that? Not that much. Just don't like that Larry Jr. there right now. It's looking at me in a way that I can't quite describe, but it's making me uneasy. How many times do I have to shoot these enemies before they die? Like 3 or 4 times with max damage. That's actually quite a lot. Usually, when I'm here, I have a build where they just insta-die, and then I just have to worry about them flying towards me. But today is just not one of those days. Picked up their full heart by accident. Yeah, rooms like this I don't hate it for, actually. Because these tiers aren't too fast. I think the fly actually just missed, which is unfortunate. One more room. That's 2 lusts, which I don't love, but I don't really hate it that much either. It's manageable at least. For the most part I can just stun them, yeah. No worries, something's wrong. Unidentified pill. Shot speed up, not bad. I don't think there is a tinted rock in this room, but it can be a little tricky to tell. We have a okay chance of the door opening, so let's just give that a try. Should I go to half a heart first? Yes. Yes, very much so. I could also use AWAS in that curse room. I would still cost 1 heart to go in there, but that's fine, I think. I do have to go down anyway, so it does work for it. Otherwise, I can use AWAS in the dark room as well. And get some good stuff that way. I guess I can do this. I don't hate this, actually. We do have a large quantity of coins, so actually getting some more progress on this, I wouldn't mind. He does need to pay out with an item, but I do now have 2 uses of this. I guess I'll just blast it against Mom's heart here. I do want to make sure that I do maximum damage with that, so let's make sure our Deadeye's fully charged before we do that. Take a hit of damage for fun. And do that a second time, and that more or less finishes the fight for us. So, I don't hate that. Thank you very much, charged baby. Double deal! I did say we would get a double deal on Womb 2, did I not? I did say that. I'm a little tempted. How tempted am I? By rifts. Very little, but it is a little. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we can get some more stuff from this floor. But first, let's... Actually, I'm just going to clear the floor with this charged baby, I think. Because I think that's going to help out just fine. Can I get the mimic in there with the... You think I can kill the mimic with a black hole? Yeah, that would probably work. I'm curious if I can do it with this rotating fly as well, though, because I think it does a little bit of damage. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Alright. So, the cursed room is out of the option, because I don't have health. That mysteriously disappeared. But that's fine. I could try to look for health and then use it to get into the curse room. The curse room can technically have more health. I am just waiting in rooms like these in case like Pin shows up or something and I just end up dying, so I'd rather avoid that, but we're taking it nice and calm. Just having the lowest quantity of contact damage kill an enemy here. That's not terrible. That's at least a card, provided I don't die. Let's just do that. Or it's Bob's Rotten Head, of course. That is also the other option. It is at least the use of a bomb on this floor, which could be good, because I don't have many of those at my disposal. This is a little bit of extra damage, which I think is worth dying for, actually, so I don't mind that. This is a weird run. Dead cat runs. If you don't get health, and we have gotten some health clearly, but when you waste all your health on garbage, it can be a little precarious for sure. Especially when you then get Matriarch in your challenge room with 1 heart. Because that's a boss I just don't do very well. Hey! No! That was actually really close. There's a lot of red hearts in this room. It's a shame I only have 1 red heart container. Ah, well. What can you do? This will probably solve itself with the black holes, yeah. Does this work for you, little fly? That could actually be really good. I'm tempted to at least figure that out. Don't need that trinket. And I remember when I said I was going to use the charged baby to clear this floor, and then, you know, I just never actually used them for any purpose. But yeah, if that trinket actually increases the fire rate of this fly, that's not bad. Alright, so we're probably not going to see that many spikes anymore, so don't mind actually taking this trinket with me. And let's see if the charged baby gives us a cool battery item before we leave downstairs in this rather odd run. This may take a minute, but it's good to have some time alone from time to time, where we just give large quantities of money to a singular creature that doesn't really have any benefits for us other than the potential of an item that they could drop. There are definitely instances where this baby is good, like if you have D6 or D20 or things like that. Obviously in this instance it charged my item and ended up killing the mom fight rather quickly. And this is obviously not too bad either. But that is at least 1 more item out of the battery bum thing. And that means we only need to do that 2 more times for an unlock. So I don't hate that we got some progress towards that at least. Being excessively careful right now with just about everything, but we're managing. Oh, do we need to be a little careful with these black holes as well with enemies like these though, but not impossible to deal with. We have 5 bombs, so I could blow up a couple of these fires as well. I also have a lot of lives to play with, which I can kind of appreciate. But I think I will blow up these 2 and these 2, or 1. I shouldn't be using these rockets, I'm just not good with them. They never really end up helping me. I don't love this either. This is not a situation I like to be in. Because that thing in the middle worries me. Also, the ghost is just shooting randomly, it seems. Yeah, there you go. Alright, let's just leave that room alone for now, because it's one of those things that... I just don't like those rocks that shoot diagonally. I'm not very good at them. I'm realizing there's a lot of things that I'm just not very good at as we're playing through this run in particular. One of them is diagonal shoot. I can shoot diagonally as well. What am I doing? I do have a tendency to forget I have that item. The analog stick is just one of those weird ones. Alright. There you go. No worries. Even though we had to go through that room apparently, we made it through. There's no secret room here, probably. There could be one over here, I think. There probably is one over there. If we can get any sort of flight, this room would be pretty amazing, but that's definitely not guaranteed. A lot of rocks, none of them look tinted. Not a secret room, really. Interesting. Good. I'll just play this machine. This could technically give us soul hearts, I think. With our 0 luck, I'm feeling pretty good. We could still get the dollar bill as well, which is an item I need to pick up at some point. Tears up. Where we're not capped yet, so that's good. I guess I can hit 6 right now with the item that I have. Maybe that's some like a tier delay item or something. Could be good. I'm just gonna go look for a one of those machines that predicts the future instead, I think. Just to increase my chances just a little bit of good stuff right there. 2 more bombs. Right, it wasn't that one. It wasn't there. It could be to the left over here, I suppose. Depending on what's up here as well. That is death. It is champion death who spawns the boomies, which I don't love. Yep, don't love this. Could probably just use shoot the whoop on this because this room layout does not fill me with joy. If I had spectral tears, this wouldn't be too big of a deal. As it stands, it's a bit messy. It's a little messy for sure. That's a soul heart. I'm leaving that on the floor for now because I think I just want to get as many of those available as possible before I inevitably spend my last life here. Try that. There you go. Bunch of coins at least, which could be good. The mushrooms could contain the magic mushroom, which could be good. This is gonna kill me. Yep. It sure is a run. It sure is an absolute mess of a run, but we are sort of trudging through it at least. I could try Satan a few times before picking up that soul heart. But I think I'm going to lose most of my health on the devil deals on the next floor as well, which I'm not loving. I don't love this either. I don't know what that is, but he looks different from what I'm used to. And that concerned me a little. I'm not sure if I've ever even seen that variant before. Oh no. You know what? I think I'm just going to go to Satan. That looks ridiculous. I don't want to deal with it. And I don't have to, which I can kind of appreciate. I'm going to try. I'm going to try 2 more times. Even though this feels like such a waste. It's like a 10% chance for flame, but I just don't have much of a choice. Obviously having bombs here is pretty good, but they'll probably just blow up on their own anyway. Yeah. You don't really need to have bombs for that thing. It does speed it up a little bit, but when you're just trying to survive, you know, it's not necessary to blow up the first 2 enemies with a bomb. Yep. Complete silence, thank you. Okay. That's called I'm scared and I'm playing at the best of my capacity. Complete silence and just hoping not to die. That's gonna be the strategy for the remainder of this run. If I can just please get some size. I will ask for nothing more. It's just garbage. I mean, I could get conjoined. No, I can't even get conjoined because I'm missing an item. Jeez. Very strong build. It is testing me for sure. I mean, we don't have to do Mega Satan. That is an important thing to remember as well. I can quite simply just leave. I can also just die. That's actually the much more likely outcome of this, but in the instance that I somehow make it through this nightmare, I don't have to do Mega Satan. I could do a victory lap with this run. That is probably the best idea. Let's just actually use Shoop the Whoop in this big room right here. Even against these spiders, I don't mind it. That's a lot of spiders to be dealing with, and I am not really that great in the health department right now. And there you go. Now I'm worse. Didn't get anything out of that either, which is kind of unfortunate. This is also kind of unfortunate. Ooh. I will say, the black holes scare me. They're meant to work for me. And yet? Nope. Just fear. I don't love this. The fly is helping out a lot doing that at least, so I can appreciate that much. Whew. Onwards this way. That ended up charging it because of the jumper cables, so that's good. That's a room. Don't care for this. It's not the worst, but it's just sickening. It's sickening is what it is. I don't care for it. Ghosts thinking they could just spit all over my lawn. One more. Come on. There you go. Very close to death as well. The ghost just really didn't want to do it. But it worked out. Oh, good. There's a secret room next to this one. Yeah, yeah, Shoop the Whoop might actually be the savior of this run as well a bit. Provided this run makes it. Because Shoop the Whoop has genuinely been so helpful in a lot of instances. I mean, I could try. I have 3 tries. I will just try it once, you know? I should at least try it once. I'm waiting to use Shoop the Whoop until the second form is available. That didn't really do that much. Ay, right, that does happen. Okay, let's recharge Shoop the Whoop. Make an attempt to recharge it. This room's not ideal. It is pretty good at charging the item though, but it's just a bit messy. Whew. Alright, so we can go into our super secret room. Which is garbage. Very good. I could get a follower, which is... you know, I could technically do that. It is an option. I have a bomb available now as well, which could be good. Because I can just shoot that at the lamb and that'll deal some damage. Damage is good. How many more rooms should I do? I don't feel like traveling is a great Oh, right. Hang on. One moment. I just realized what was at the starting room there. Let me just real quickly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So that's 5 things from the Dark Bum. Yeah, I mean, I kind of got it, right? I mean, oh god, are you serious though? Or alternatively, the Curse of the Maze could just kill me. I mean, I do have that option as well, of course. Yeah, that's 2 of them. And that's 3. At least that's a soul heart, I think. It is a soul heart. Please. Thank you. Okay. That's that. Oh, I do still have 1 extra life remaining. I actually thought that it wouldn't count that, but fair enough. That's not bad. Okay, so that's at least 1 soul heart. Let's just have you pick up all the things here, and then I have to leave the room before you start giving me stuff. Please don't spawn bad spiders. Pill, bad spider, a regular spider, 1 black heart, 2 black hearts. And shot speed down. Okay. This is a terrible idea. But I'm going to do some more rooms. I'm hoping that's gonna work out. Probably should have gone into my secret room as well, thinking about it, but kind of had that thought a little bit late. Right, that's an attack you do. Alright, with that, since we're on my last life, let me just mosey along to the room with the black heart in it and hope it doesn't switcheroo on me. Very good. Very good. This is fine. This is totally okay. Let's go do this. And see what we can do here. We'll once again wait with Shoop the Whoop, even though I feel like it's really not worthwhile. And this time I'm just gonna hang out in better places. If it could also just do this attack, some stuff like this is actually just a lot nicer to avoid in general. It's a lot easier at least. Yeah, that works. I could just not take damage. Yeah, that's an option. Ay. What a great run that was. What an absolutely wonderful time. Alright, so I have some hearts available. I technically have a build of some description. I will just mosey along for a bit, because I don't really have a reason not to. At this point, I have the unlock, regardless of what happens. I might die, but it doesn't really matter that much at this stage. Because we will at least get the things that we were going for, except for Mega Satan, obviously, because, let's be real, I'm not going to win Mega Satan with this build. It's simply not going to happen. There is another big room there. Let's do that. Please don't run away. Like that, yeah. Full health, pretty good. Moon card. I could go to the secret room. Alright, that works too. Make sure I don't miss. D10, wow. Just absolute non-stop garbage is this entire run. It just doesn't end. And it just exclusively sells trash. It is incredible. Genuinely, I've not had a run this bad for a bit. I mean, there were definitely a lot of mistakes as well, but jeez. It does not let up at all. Death card, that's actually a little tempting. I definitely should have taken it into this room. It doesn't matter too much. I'm excited, yep. Yep. What kind of room do we have here? Kind of hoping that heart was enough. It wasn't. Yeah, this is definitely worth exploding like that. And another big room with a bunch of 3 carrion queens. What a joy. Have we ever been treated to such delicious snacks before? Truly, you could call this karma. you could adequately call this karma right now with how the run has been going. With how all the other runs have been going as well. However, I am still not very happy about it. That's just all I'm gonna say about that. I could like run into Mega Satan. The moment I take damage, I'll just teleport out. I was kind of hoping to get one more item at least, but it just doesn't seem like it. You know what? We're done. We're good. I'm actually just how every. Oh, never mind. Right, secret room was over there. This is gonna be an interesting way to die. At least. I kind of thought my secret room was elsewhere as well. I definitely anticipated to be in a slightly different location. Alright, Dark Bum. 1 black heart. Very nice. Very good. I'm done. I'm done with this run. I don't want to see it again. We'll do Mega Satan some other time. This has been an absolute nightmare. And I just want it to be over. Oof. Pandora's box is in the basement. That's actually pretty good. I should have unlocked that significantly sooner, because there is also stuff like using Pandora's box in the dark room, I think. I think that's an achievement for something. You don't even really get anything else out of it either. So yeah, I should have done that sooner, but that's fine. We got a lamb kill in what is probably the most stressful run in this series, and we barely even did anything. But at least we got some battery bum progress as well, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Next time we play, I'll try to play a little bit better, because that was a bit of a rough one. But I hope to see y'all there, and that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you tomorrow and whatever, and bye-bye.